Hi, I'm Stephen Fisher and welcome to Holding Your Center. So today I want to talk about the empty cup. And the empty cup is a metaphor for that free and clear, non-judgmental headspace where you're not judging yourself or others. So there's an ancient Zen koan that says, what's the most important part of the cup? And the answer, if there is an answer, is the empty space inside. So if I approach you and my cup is full of all of my emotions, my baggage, my fears, my issues, and I'm just dumping them onto you, I'm not useful to you. But if I can temporarily empty my cup and we can put your needs, your feelings, your concerns, your desires in here without me judging or criticizing or putting my spin on it, then I become useful to you. The empty cup. So if you can approach your own mind and you can do the three-step process like we talked about before with a free and clear headspace where you're not judging yourself, but you're simply neutrally observing your own self-talk, your own self-criticisms, your own negative fear-based thinking, or you can do that for another person. You can neutrally observe their fears, their concerns, their criticisms without taking it personally, without putting your spin on it. Then you become useful. So the philosophy is the empty cup, but the method is active listening. So active listening is a listening communication exercise where you actually listen to your partner or your friend or whoever you have conflict with in that clear, empty cup, non-judgmental headspace. So there's a couple steps of active listening, but whenever the speaker is talking, then whoever's listening, whoever's talking will talk about 3 or 4 points at a time, and then whoever's listening will just simply paraphrase back what they said. So in a normal conversation, one person will say their point, the other person will say their point, the other person will say their point, and that's fine unless you're in conflict. And then suddenly you're having competing points of view and you're conflicting and arguing with each other. Before you know it, it escalates to a crisis point where you're now going after each other. Whenever you feel that escalation happen with your partner, with your friend, with your family, with your loved ones, that's when you need to stop, time out. Hey, let's do active listening. Let's be the empty cup for each other. And so in the active listening, the speaker says 3 or 4 points at a time, and then the listener just paraphrases them back. Now the reason you only want to do 3 or 4 points at a time, because if you say 12 points at a time, it's really difficult for the listener to remember all that and paraphrase it all back. Plus, if the speaker is speaking for 5 or 10 minutes, you've lost your listener after about 2. So you want to just say 3 or 4 points at a time, and the listener's the empty cup. He just paraphrases it back without judging, criticizing, no sarcasm, because when we're listening, we also put our subtle spin on it. So you want to be careful of that and just simply put yourself in another person's shoes, try to understand where they're coming from, and paraphrase it back. You keep on doing that until the speaker says everything they have to say, then you switch, and the listener now becomes a speaker, and they say 3 or 4 points at a time, and whoever's listening, they paraphrase back. This really is a really valuable way to communicate when 2 people are in conflict. So if it's with you and your partner, you and your friends, you want to practice active listening anytime there's an issue of disagreement or conflict that you can't sort through. Now, you don't want to go to solutions until you listen to each other, because people's frustration of not being heard, their differences of opinion, you may not fully understand your partner's point of view. So when you do the active listening, it serves a few purposes. One, it helps you understand all your partner's concerns. It also helps you each of you feel listened, heard, understood, so your emotions start to peg down. Because when your emotions are high, your fight or flight is up, no good solutions are going to happen. When you clear all those emotional issues out of the way and you really understand the fullness of each other's point of view, then you can start to go to solutions. But that's why you got to do active listening first. So thank you for listening, and thank you for tuning in today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.